Hello. Leaving Miami behind, I'm not gonna lie, was hard. I was in my comfort zone. I have this motto to myself: if I was ever comfortable, I had to do something about it. I was having this conversation with my friend about why I didn't want to move from Miami, and I caught myself using the word comfortable. I like the gym where I'm going to, I have my routine down, and the minute I said comfortable, I was like, oh, I do gotta move. Saying goodbye to my mom and dad was probably one of the hardest things. It was kind of awkward because, yeah, I know, I don't even want to get into it. Goodbye is just too emotional. Next question. I'm a doer. You know, if I tell myself I'm gonna do it, I need to do everything now. So of course, I landed to Mexico, and my first thought was, all right, I need to start planning the first class. But when I got to that island, I was like, who the am I to teach these people about Bitcoin? First of all, I consider myself below average on Bitcoin knowledge.
There are different spectrums of custody.
Understanding the difficulty adjustment.
The Bitcoin cycle is completely intertwined with the global macroeconomic environment.
This is a technology that is way beyond my capabilities. And especially if you look at the Bitcoin white paper, I don't understand like 8 of those pages. I'm kidding. You know when they have the equations on them, I'm like, oh, what is this? The only thing I understand from the Bitcoin white paper, not to lie, is literally the introduction. So for me, that was a barrier that I needed to cross. I did not consider myself teacher material. To be a teacher, you gotta know a lot of things. If the students have a question, they're gonna go up to you to ask you that question. All I kept thinking was 22,000 people. How am I gonna do it? Am I just gonna walk up to them and be like, yo, I wanna go teach, the students at your elementary school after class? So I sat down next to a computer and I was like, I need to organize a game plan because if not, it's gonna be a shit show. I divide the steps, and obviously the first step was to get approved by Mi Primer Bitcoin, buy utensils, bought a whiteboard for the students, because I thought I was gonna get a classroom of 20 people. I thought this was gonna be the most desired classroom in the whole island. But no, I was wrong. I managed to get only 4 people. I thought I was gonna get more, but I only got 4 students, which is good. Having 4 students was honestly a blessing in disguise because I was able to make those errors and I was able to, be shy, learn what way is best to teach them. What I told myself was it's only gonna get better from here. And that's how it's actually been. How the school system works in Isla Mujeres is they only go to school 3 hours a day. The cool thing about that is there's not really much for them to unlearn. Because you see, with normal Americans, they've been into the school system, so teaching them about Bitcoin, it's like teaching them that everything that they've been taught is a lie. But with these people from the island, the easy part is that they don't know all that stuff. So I'm honestly sort of teaching in like a white, clean slate. And I wanted them to understand why Bitcoin is hope. I didn't want them to look at it as, yeah, number go up type of thing. I wanted them to understand that this is probably going to save the world. So I'm very honest with the whole situation. Every time that they came to the classes, I would pay the students sats because not many people really understand that people in third world countries live day to day. The people on the island make around $120 a week. They don't have enough money with $120 a week. How are you going to ask them to dollar cost average Bitcoin? Like, come on, it's difficult. And if they were to put their extra, 20 pesos to buy their Bitcoin and it would go down, how could I look at them in the face and explain to them like, oh, don't worry, it's gonna come up. This is gonna sound so cheesy, but the most fun part about teaching, it was learning from my students because they taught me about the simplicity of life. They are the most happy people I've ever met. And coming from the States to living on an island you know, where I can't even order Amazon. It sort of made me take out this chip that I had in my head, that I had this consumer mentality. It made me realize that you really don't need much to be happy. You know, the people that are around you are the ones that make life worth it. And we complicate things so freaking much. Life is simple, and we just complicate the shit out of it. So everything was going perfectly fine. The classes were going as planned. The next thing we had to do was plan the graduation. Except the hurricane happened.